I believe I built my Satellite 320 the winter of 2019. And this is what it looks like June 3rd, 2021. The first flights were at the Minnesota Contest Field, and our president of NFFs at the time was there, John. I made one short flight, and the second flight, it went too much to the right and crashed, breaking the fuselage in half. I took it to the 2019 Nats, but I just made one short flight. I was having so much trouble with the red cap bladders that they kept breaking all the time. Well, Hank Spurzl gave me some pacifiers, and that's what I've been using with no trouble. But then I had this idea that I could convert it to electric and use an RC receiver, and I could control the speed and fly it that way till I had it trimmed out. Well, I started it this way on too small a field, and I did a DT and busted the wing trying not to hit some trees. But I had many good flights with it as an electric after that. But this year I noticed that the wing was getting rather weak, so I recovered it with Mylar and tissue, took the electric unit off and put it on my half-A Viking, and put the TD back on the Satellite with the stronger wing. So I tried it again 2 days ago, and it did the same thing. It went to the right after the engine cut and crashed, broke the fuselage. It didn't hit all that hard. But I fixed it up and did some more test glides, and I was thinking last night, I was kayaking and then had a picnic out in the area near where I was flying, and was like, well, I should have brought the airplane along to fly it, because the forecast was for windy for the next few days, but this morning it turned out it was pretty calm. I had made a couple changes, more left thrust for one thing, and I thought pretty good chance it would fly, but I was really nervous, and darn if I didn't forget to hit the timer. But I had RDT, and I popped the stab, and it was doing these loops. I just couldn't believe I did that. I'm usually so careful about that. But luckily, it ran the engine out and landed fine. But what was more surprising, darn if I didn't do it a second time. And this time it got like really high. I don't show all of it here in the video, but it just kept going up until the engine quit and came down. Well, I tried it again, and this time I used the timer, but you can see it really is going to the left. Another thing was it didn't seem like it had enough incidence. I don't know, this changed since when it was electric, what it needs, but it's got to use what it's going to take. I took a shim that was in the back of the wing out, but the thing I noticed, if I prop up the back of the stab, my key is not going to be useful, so I'm going to have to extend that. I sure don't like all the crashing, but I really enjoy getting the adjustments figured out on free flight models. That's just the most fun I have, and I can just work with these, and the time just goes by so fast. On this last flight, I banked it to the right, and then it kind of straightened out, and the engine cut, and it did a stall, and it didn't look like it was going to recover. I had to give it the DT.